Local, in-depth, community. You're watching KFDX3 News at 6 in high definition.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Billiard.
And I'm Gwen Bevel. A young woman took the stand in 89th District Court and became very emotional as she talked about how a Nevada man allegedly abused her and her sister when they were very young.
Ashley Wheeler was there and has the latest on today's court proceedings. Ashley.
That's right. One of the alleged victims tearfully took the stand today in the trial against 60-year-old Clarence Swaggheimer. He has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of indecency with a child by contact and 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child. The alleged victim, who was in the 6th grade at the time of the alleged abuse, testified that Swaggheimer babysat her for about 2 years. She says Swaggheimer would take her out to eat and buy her gifts. She became very emotional when she described how Swaggheimer kissed her all over her body and touched her inappropriately in her private areas. The girl's mother also took the stand today, very upset as well, as she talked about what her daughter is alleging. A former forensic interviewer at Patsy's house also took the stand today. She said when she spoke to the victim in 2012 that she originally didn't want to talk about what happened to her because she said she didn't want to get Swaggheimer in trouble. Eventually, the interviewer says that the girl told her that she was abused when Swaggheimer had her and her sister perform in what he called a fashion show. That's when the girl reportedly told the interviewer that Swaggheimer would touch her beneath her swimsuit and that it hurt. Prosecutors say they will stack the sentences during this trial if Swaggheimer is found guilty. Testimony will continue tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Ashley, thank you.
Well, now Swaggheimer is also facing 8 additional charges of assault or indecency filed after the original charges.
But prosecutors say that will be dealt with later.
Well, traffic is down to 1 lane on Kell near the Harrison exit after a 4-car accident this afternoon.
It happened just after 5 when police say a white pickup westbound on Kell hit a car, and when a blue SUV tried to get out of the way, the SUV struck another vehicle. Authorities say that car then hit the pickup that originally started the whole chain reaction. 4 females were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Again, as the scene gets cleared up, traffic is down right now to 1 lane.
Well, Wichita Falls man is found guilty of child endangerment after authorities say he and his girlfriend allowed a woman to continue living with him even after the woman admitted to molesting their daughter and other children.
George Matthew Sapp and Paula Joanne Carter were arrested last year when police say Carter reported the abuse. According to police, the girl, who was 6 at the time, told investigators she'd been touched and abused several times by Dusty Gamble, who was 19 at the time. Both Sapp and Carter said they'd been aware of the incidents, had confronted Gamble a couple months prior, and they'd agreed not to call police when she promised not to do it again. Sapp said he also recorded a statement from Gamble in which she admitted molesting the girl along with other children in the past. Sapp's punishment phase will begin on March 24th in 89th District Court. Last year, Carter pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years deferred adjudication probation and paid a $750 fine. Gamble is charged with aggravated sexual assault. She's accused of sexually assaulting the girl between February 2014 and April 1st of 2015.
Well, a 33-year-old man is in the Wichita County Jail tonight, accused of abusing a boy who was afraid of the dark. On February 8th, police were dispatched to the boy's apartment on Barnett Road, where his mother reported her boyfriend became upset when her son was crying due to his fear of the dark. She said Jeremy Scott Cook grabbed her son's arm, where police confirmed bruising, and CPS was also notified by school personnel after the 9-year-old revealed Cook also hit him on his back, where police say additional bruising was found. Cook is charged with injury to a child bodily injury, a 3rd-degree felony.
A Quanah man arrested in January after Hardeman County Sheriff's deputies discovered an indoor marijuana grow has been sentenced to prison. 35-year-old Anthony Michael Waldo received a 4-year prison term from District Judge Mike Bird for probation revocation from tampering with evidence. That proceeding was the result of his arrest on January 26 when deputies were searching for a suspect who had an arrest warrant. The suspect was spotted near Waldo's home, and when deputies went to search, they say they found the marijuana operation with almost 100 plants in a bedroom. They also found a firearm in the home that they say Waldo admitted was his. Waldo pleaded to the probation violation and illegal possession of a firearm. He received 2 4-year terms to be served together. 2 other men deputies say were smoking marijuana in the garage were also arrested.
Well, with 2 commissioners up for election but running unopposed, elected commissioners moved to cancel their May municipal election last night. This comes after a controversial May election last year when 2 commissioners, Kevin Bird and Ricky Kelly, were recalled and the former mayor, Pam Ward, was defeated. Following that election, the commission couldn't verify the votes until more than a week after the election day because one of the ousted city leaders wouldn't grant a second motion to canvass the votes. At that time, former Commissioner Ricky Kelly said he didn't second the motion because the recall petitions against he, Kevin Bird, and Pam Ward weren't, quote, legitimate. Eventually, the motion was granted. Place 1 Commissioner Bob Doan, who replaced Bird, and Place 2 Commissioner James Gottfried, who replaced Kelly, are up for re-election. City leaders say since they are running unopposed, there's just no need for an election.
It's day 2 of cleanup at the Wichita Falls Public Library after a sprinkler malfunction damaged thousands of books.
Yeah, Samaria Terry joins us now with more on the effort to get it back open for the readers.
Yeah, Doug and Gwen, when we first got to the library this morning, Library Administrator Leslie Daly said she was busy dealing with insurance. And with close to 3,000 books damaged, the library staff says the insurance is going to be key in getting those replaced. Janice Bailey says she is usually the first person at the Wichita Falls Public Library, but Tuesday morning she was greeted by a custodial staff member and the Wichita Falls Fire Department.
I was hoping it was just a false alarm.
It wasn't. A malfunction in the sprinkler system caused one of the sprinklers in the children's department to go off.
So we probably had the sprinkler running 30-40 minutes before the water was turned off. So needless to say, it did some damage to some of our books.
Around noon Wednesday, the count was at 2,540 books, and Bailey says it may be close to 3,000 once every book has gone through inspection. The staff says at one point there was more than an inch of water running through this area and back to some of the offices.
This is the second day we came that it was closed, and we didn't know, and she's cried both times because she loves the library.
Jessie Smith says her family comes here often since her children are homeschooled and the library is a big part of their curriculum.
They even have a play area. The other libraries I've been to don't have that, and it's really nice.
Bailey and other staffers at the library have been inspecting each book looking for any signs of rippling and mold. She says she's thankful the water didn't spread into the server room and didn't get into any other parts of the library where the books aren't under as much cover.
And the children's department's one of the heaviest used areas. Kids still like that tactile touch of a book, and we have, a lot of them can't read to themselves, so the parents will come in and read and check out a book and read to their child.
And Bailey says replacing the city's supply will be an expensive feat since each book costs about $30. And when you consider how many were damaged by one sprinkler malfunction, it could cost close to $90,000 to restock these shelves. Now, the library hopes to open tomorrow, and all other activities on the second floor will also continue.
Oh, I hope they're able to open back up. Samaria, thank you.
Well, for all of you avid readers out there, the Wichita Adult Literacy Council's annual book fair gets underway tomorrow, and there you're going to find more than 75,000 books pre-sorted into over 40 genres.
The fundraiser helps the nonprofit buy materials so they can continue teaching adults to read on a one-on-one tutor basis. The sneak preview opens at 5 tomorrow evening, and there will be a $10 admission for all of you early birds, and then it's free to get into the sale on Friday and Saturday. Hours on both days are from 9 until 8. All of the fun for literature lovers happens over at Sykes Lake Center behind the MSU Wellness Center, and I hope to see you out there.
Well, if you're in the downtown area, you may notice a box standing on the corner of Bluff and 11th.
The wooden box with a plexiglass window has a little blessing for anyone. That's where we find our very own Katia Guillaume. Katia, tell us about the box you are standing next to.
Gwen and Doug, they call this a blessing box. It has anything from canned goods to toothpaste to diapers and even kids' puzzles. Now, the idea came from the director of the Corner Community Center, Jeremy Aarons, and his wife. The Aarons are both very active in the church and wanted to find other ways to give back to the community. So they built this box for anyone who may be in need of anything. Wichita Falls native Jay Lee says he gives back to his community in any chance that he gets.
It always feels good giving back to the community, whether it be, like I said, feeding the less fortunate, giving back, blessing, paying my tithes. I just do what I can to give back to the community because I come from the community. A lot of people look at it like the Lord's work, but I look at it like just helping out people that need it in a helping time of need. And I do it without recognition.
Lee says he also spends a good amount of his time volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club and the Youth Opportunity Center. Now coming up at 10, hear how you can be a part of this blessing.
All right, Katya, thank you.
Well, bikers, runners, and walkers will have even more of the Wichita Falls Circle Trail to explore this summer.
Yeah, Kenzie Meekbeck is at one leg of the trail that's a little bit closer to completion now with an update. Kenzie.
That's right, and the next portion of that trail is the scenic Wichita Bluff area, and this segment of the Circle Trail has been a long time in the making. Every day, David Weeks walks his 2 dogs along a section of the Circle Trail next to Lake Wichita.
The dogs like this better than walking in the neighborhoods because they like the trees and the grass and swim in the lake.
So as a regular patron of the trail, he's excited to hear that the next segment will be done within the coming months.
I think it's a real good deal. I'm glad they're getting it done.
It's really big, isn't it?
With the help of several grants, the city has been slowly putting together what will eventually be a 24-mile circle trail around the city. The next part to be complete is the Wichita Falls Bluff area, which was supposed to be done over 12 months ago. The contract with the original contractor was terminated because they failed to make repairs in a timely manner and said that they lacked the money to finish. A surety bond company then hired a local contractor to finish up, and they are now making some good progress.
It's taken a bit longer than anybody would like, so but we do have light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be finished this summer, and the public will really enjoy what they see with the pretty views and the bluffs and the natural features that are available right off Seymour Highway.
After that, the project will move from the Bluff to Loop 11 and then from Loop 11 to Lucy Park, and then the portion near the railroad track next to Kell Boulevard.
The city's been working closely with the management of Burlington Northern Santa Fe in Fort Worth, and we are working toward an agreement where the city will be receiving from BNSF a permanent easement for which the city can build a trail on their property.
And another part next to Lake Wichita will wrap up the final part of the project, which has been decades in the making. Improvements to parts of the existing trail are also in the works. Soon a wooden bridge in front of the falls along the trail will be replaced with a 14-foot wide steel pedestrian and light vehicle bridge. Crews will also add a bypass to the existing trail in that area.
Oh, wow. Lots of great things taking shape on the Circle Trail. Kenzie, thank you.
Right.
Well, a bill calling for changes to the Child Protective Services system authored by a Texoma lawmaker passes in the Texas House and Senate today.
We'll have more on what it would do and why the governor is praising the House and Senate for the move.
Plus, another bill looks to protect Wichita Falls from another drought disaster. We'll have a closer look after Kevin's forecast.